Hello people, BioShock Infinite. I can't review BioShock Infinite without comparison to his older brothers. Irrational Games tried to make a third BioShock, and again as BioShock 2, BioShock Infinite is without its creator, Ken Levin. Where BioShock 2 failed in atmosphere of BioShock 1, BioShock Infinite failed even more. Does that mean that the BioShock Infinite is a bad game? No. Hell no. But it's not BioShock at all. If this game was named Infinite only, then it would be okay. Let's go through all the sections and I'll tell you what I think about everything. The story is the first section. Playing as Booker DeWitt, an ex-war mercenary. Now, a regular mercenary. He accepts a contract to go into a city of Columbia and retrieve a girl by the name Elizabeth. It sounds simple enough, but we have amazing intro of Columbia when we reach this city in the clouds. After 2 parts in Deep Ocean, it feels refreshing too. Then we also have a lot of twists and mysteries till the very end of the game. And of course, a lot of amazing action cinematics from first person perspective, of course. Ending is very interesting too, but also very confusing. Not gonna spoil anything here, and I'll just give it an 8 out of 10 for story. My fucking cat distracted me. Sorry about it. Um, Game bugs. Not one single crash in both of my playthroughs. No bugs. Very few funny glitches. The game is extremely well optimized and it works fucking great. Fast loading, no frame drops, it's just perfect. But still I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 because it was linear. Game time. I've spent 16 hours in this game and I played it very nice and slow, inspecting every corner of its world on hard difficulty, and I found nothing at all, but more of that in a gameplay. If you decide to rush, I think less than 5 hours is needed. Solid game time for a shooter with very, very little replay value. 6 out of 10 for game time section. Game difficulty. BioShock Infinite is easier than BioShock 1 and 2 on its hard difficulty. And I died less than 10 times without even trying to do better. Infinite ammo and very little penalties for dying, plus 90% of enemies are very stupid, and you will probably die here from that bastard with rocket launcher or a handyman. It's basically a Big Daddy's replacement in the sky. It's good for casual players though. Even on hard, the game is easy. It is, after all, a user-friendly game, but more about that in gameplay. Maps and graphics. Sorry. Game difficulty will gain 5 out of 10. Maps and graphics with 18 different maps or areas and no mini-map, because this game is fucking linear. A downgrade from BioShock 1 and 2, a big downgrade. But beautiful graphics, one of the most, well, colorful games that I ever played in my life. You can see these screenshots from my gameplay. Um, Columbia looks amazing, and Irrational Games deserve a 10 out of 10 for graphics. They really do. So maps and graphics will get an 8 out of 10 as a final score. only because no minimap, very linear, and very small areas and maps. Only two big maps in the whole game. Alright, next section. Gameplay. Let's compare, since the title has BioShock in it. This is BioShock Infinite, after all. Where BioShock 1 and 2 were unlinear, BioShock Infinite is extremely linear. You had choices that actually mattered in previous games and a lot of different endings. Now we have imaginative choices that doesn't matter at all. They don't matter. That's how it is. No big daddies and little sisters. No splicers. No cameras. No hacking. No telekinesis. Basically, all of those little things that mattered in Bioshock 1 and 2 were replaced with their dumbed down versions, or they're completely removed. Instead of big daddies, we will meet 3 to 5 handymans in the campaign. Instead of those crazy ass splicers, we'll meet a regular policeman, fireman, and some dudes with coffins on their backs. You will never sneak, never pay attention, never pay attention on how to unlock something, because Elizabeth will do it for you. You just need to find lockpicks, and there are plenty of lockpicks in Infinite. Maybe 2 mini-buses in the game. Again, it's weaker than in BioShock 1 and 2. And only one area actually reminds me a bit on BioShock series here. And that area lasts for 20 minutes. I'll say what area at the end of this clip. No saves and loads, only checkpoints in BioShock Infinite. You have health instead of Eve now. We have salt and newly added shield, which regenerates after you don't take any damage in 5 to 10 seconds. Again, a dumbed down and easier version of BioShock. I don't know why, but they did it. I really don't know why. Vending machines and Alamo Bandito machines are replaced with dollar bills. Here, dollars are replaced with silver eagles. Plasmids are now called vigors or vigors. I think it's vigors. No random encounters. The music will start and the enemies will appear. A classical shooter here, like we're playing Serious Sam. A dumbed down version of Serious Sam, because there are less enemies than in Serious Sam, for example. So, what else? Oh yeah, did I mention that you can carry only 2 weapons at the same time? Oh, fuck that. So what exactly is good here in this BioShock? Action, that's what. This is a 95% shooter and 5% RPG. Not even 5 to be honest, but let's call it 5. No scare jumps like in previous Bioshocks, no thinking, just cinematics and run and gun gameplay here. Elizabeth will open doors and safes. In safes you will only find coin and nothing else. And she will open tears to help you in fights. Mini portals, traversing through time, that shit. Already seen in like 100 different games so far. Skyhook is your melee weapon here, and you can use it to chop enemies' heads or traverse the skylines. I love that part in the game. Traversing the skylines is a great thing here. The action feels sweet, and only because of that, gameplay we will get a 7 out of 10 as final score. Now we have itemization and leveling for the next section. As I mentioned in gameplay section, this game offers 8 different vigors and 2 upgrades per vigor. You will find upgrades in battles. They're called infusions and spend 1 point on your HP, shield, or salt. Each of those you can enhance 10 times to gain bigger health, more salt, or a bigger shield. With a lot of different weapons, you can upgrade every weapon 4 times, from damage to faster reloads. Simplified, really simplified. But it's too bad that you can only carry 2 weapons again. Combat tonics, engineering tonics, and all of those beautiful and tasty tonics and upgrades from BioShock 1 are now replaced with gear, cap, pants, and so on. You can equip 4 of them, and all of those have 15 different gear upgrades, and they're completely useless and don't feel like a reward at all. They really don't feel like a reward. Useless shit. For all of those beautiful you invent machines, crafting, vending machines, gatherer gardens, now we have 3 very simplified vending machines. Simplified machines. Dollar bill, Veni Vidi Vigor, to buy vigor upgrades. Again, you buy them with silver eagles or coin. And Minuteman's Armory, weapon upgrades, also purchased with coin. Well, again, a massive downgrade from BioShock 1 and 2, and it's 6 out of 10 for this section. Next one is NPCs and enemies. Our Booker DeWitt, main protagonist, Elizabeth, main villain Comstock, and his Songbird, plus Fink, and a few more interesting characters. They're all good. But without Elizabeth, this game would be a bloody disaster. From enemies, we have policemen on every corner, handyman, fireman, 2 versions of turrets, machine gun turret, rocket launcher turret, 1 bloody ghost, yes, 1, crows, and all of those also have their elite versions, stronger versions later on in the game. It's not bad, but I still think that BioShock 1 and 2 did better here. 8 out of 10 for NPCs and enemies, only because of Elizabeth. Music and sound is the next section. Great sound effects, from sounds of the skylines to explosions. Great intro and outro tunes. I really loved intro tune and the ending tune. Phenomenal. Very good voice acting on Booker DeWitt, some NPCs, and of course Elizabeth. A lot of voxophones and sightseers with voice acting and funny music. Sightseers, they basically explain the history of the city of Columbia. I'll give music and sound a 9 out of 10. So now we have a conclusion with 66 points and 9 sections. We have an overall score of 7.3 out of 10. I'll just give BioShock Infinite a 7 out of 10. If the game was named Infinite or Infinite Skies or whatever, I would give it an 8 out of 10 or maybe even a 9 out of 10 if they just said it's a simplified shooter. But not in this case. When they call it BioShock, I accept BioShock only, not this. No bio, no magic, and certainly not a shock. It's a simplified, linear shooter with solid story and great, amazing graphics, but it failed to deliver in the most important part that BioShock 1 delivered: magic and atmosphere. This game lacks magic and atmosphere. I never felt that magic from BioShock 1. In 16 hours, only one area reminded me on BioShock 1 greatness. The city's insane asylum, to be more precise. Only that reminded me a bit on BioShock 1. Um, they should really stop milking this franchise and turning it into a simplified console game. And it's not even a simplified console game, it's a simplified shooter. Uh, it's a nice game to relax, good for casual players, and beautiful for the eye. And that's it. An empty shell of Ken Levin's BioShock. As I said for BioShock 2, and I said the next thing, no Ken Levin, no magic. For BioShock Infinite, I'll say this. No Ken Levin, no BioShock. See you on the next one.